Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The second question that we are faced with is that an all-kind God who is benevolent, who knows that humanity is suffering and fails to intervene and does not put the affairs of humanity aright when he is capable of doing so, does that not gesture either the non-existence of God or that God is not kind and benevolent, rather he is a tyrannical, malevolent God? Now this again is a very serious question. But if we look at it, it's actually based on an assumption. And the assumption is that God has created us out of nothing and sent us upon the face of this earth to act out our lives. And hence, He is duty-bound to assure that no harm comes to us. Whereas, in reality, it appears very clearly, rationally, and according to the text, the revelation, that there has been a pre-worldly existence. Now the Quran again emphatically gestures at this. The Quran says, on that day of resurrection, human beings will cry out and they will say, "O Lord, now we hear, now we see." In other words, now we understand. Send us back to the world and we will behave righteously. In another place, the Quran states, the day in which human beings will remember, but there will be no value for their recollection on that day. It will have been too late. The human beings will cry out, if only we sent forth for our real lives. This says clearly that there has been a pre-worldly existence, and we have come into this existence with full understanding what we were doing. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes a distinction in the Quran between the earth upon which we reside and the life of the earth. The life of the earth is known as Hayatud Dunya, the life of the world. Dunya, semantically in Arabic, means the lowly, the one that is very near. And Allah describes, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا, and the life of the dunya is nothing but a pastime and a sport. Now this needs to be taken very seriously, the way God is enlightening us and reminding us. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states in the Quran that the life of this earth is a momentary pleasure, mata'ul ghurur, and it's an illusory world. It's not the real world. You are here for some reason, some purpose, and you have taken it on yourselves to come here to try something out. Then Allah reminds us again that the life of this world in comparison to the hereafter is indeed a very short-lived pleasure. Then again, in recounting the conversations of the people in the hereafter, they are told, how long did you live upon the face of the earth? And they would say, maybe an afternoon, a day, a part of a day, a few hours. So here we see that actually there has been a pre-worldly existence. In that pre-worldly existence, we were aware of what is Hayatud Dunya, an illusory existence. And we opted to come to Hayatud Dunya to try ourselves out. There is a definite purpose here. Now it seems very clearly that we knew the terms of the worldly existence in which God will not intervene in the naive way in which we think He will intervene. He will leave it up to humanity to face the challenges and to bring the best out in themselves. So if we have health, wealth, well-being and security, then these are the terms that either we have chosen or are given to us by God in accordance with what we have agreed to. And in those conditions, we are to bring out the best of our humanity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Imma shakiran aw imma kafura." Either he is grateful for the opportunity, or he is ungrateful, in which he wastes his opportunity. Similarly, if God gives us sickness, poverty, lack of security and danger, then again, the whole test here is for us to see how that human, godly gem, the substance of humanity, how it emerges from these testing circumstances. Because God says that whatever you're going through now, you might feel it is unending and you have to endure long bouts of trials. But trust me, it is a moment compared to the real life, and in addition to that, you have opted for this. Now, it's further clarified in the Quran that there will be scribes. Every deed is written, everything is recorded, and there is a sense of accountability in the hereafter. You can only have accountability if we knew the terms of the existence within the Hayatud Dunya or the worldly life. We will be asked, well, these are the opportunities. How did you do in those opportunities? Because they were given to you and you knew the terms of life and existence. And that is why human beings will despair on that day and say, now I remember. If only I were to have sent something forward for the real life that I was going upon. When people say, well, I am sick, I am ill, it is the body that is sick, it is the body that is unwell, it is the body that is in danger. They should remind themselves that from a pre-worldly existence, I am not a body. The body has been a means for me to experience something very profound, and through that for my soul to grow and to be refined. If we were to just check one assumption, that God has not created us out of nothing and then expects us to lead a life which is a worthy life, and then he does not intervene, if we can just shift that and say, no, actually, there has been a pre-worldly existence in which we knew the terms of this life, we chose it willingly with full knowledge, and we have come here. If that is understood, then we will see that for God to withhold intervention is for us to fully avail ourselves from the opportunity of this life. If an examiner were to constantly supply the student who is sitting in an exam with answers, the student will have no incentive or motivation to actualize the knowledge base within their own minds. If the parent were to always intervene and hold the child and not let them fall, the child will never learn how to walk. And in fact, the child will grow up and at a ripe old age will condemn the parent for not allowing the child an opportunity to learn and to come to the fullness of their existence. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.